2023, this was my last attempt to fix it. I had went to what was a enforcement picnic for the enforcement offices for like this section of paternity acknowledgement, because I found a phone number for voluntary acknowledgement offices, and I called them to see what could be done, because that was originally, we were in agreement. We have the test to show that we agreed, etc. I have a court order saying that we agreed that our test was correct and that their LabCorp test was wrong. That being said, I want to read, this is a checklist that I took out so I can make sure I spoke on each of the points in the order that they happened with them, and I want to share it with y'all. And I did record that encounter as well, so I do have it on audio. And keep in mind, again, as I said before, I have the legal right. In my state, it is a one-party consent. I'm that party, and yes, I have the legal right to share it, and everything I am sharing, I will not be doxing anybody. Okay, so it goes a little something like this. On January the 27th, 2021, the results from private DNA came in. He began to pay child support and get Phoenix, and we came to an agreed order. We called the health department, was informed would need to sign the birth certificate at the support enforcement due to pupil being done there. I received first notice from enforcement on 2/5/21. They were informed paternity was, and that Mark was paying support, wanting to sign the birth certificate. They gathered his info. On February the 25th, however, we received a court order for a DNA test through LabCorp. When asked about it, I was told we had to have a state test. He could not do a VA. Again, this is due to they seeing a quick way to make money. They said, oh wait, they've already done a test. We know he's the dad, so we're not going to be wasting money with this one. So they thought. March 2021, LabCorp test is negative. Side note, Mark was to take me and our son to testing on the same day due to my truck being broke down. Instead, he dropped our son off with me that day, as the night prior was his time, and said he couldn't take us. See DNA collection date for Mark's reference. Court order had my original date as 3/17. It was moved to 3/24. Raises concern I wasn't present for a test, which again is a violation of my rights and anybody's rights. If you have your DNA or a child's being involved, you have the right to be present when the other party's DNA is being drawn to use in comparison to. So it's a domestic, or there's a little bit of nuance in that, but for the most part, I have spoke to multiple attorneys with free consultations. Luckily, that's all I've been able to do. And they know this. They know we're low income, and this is why they do these types of things to us. So in April, me and Mark both agreed that there needed to be another test, as that couldn't be correct. I was informed by the enforcement we would be responsible for testing costs. I requested via email the new testing center be NetGain Mobile Diagnostics, a state-accredited collection site and labs, and that we wanted to have a blood-to-blood DNA test done. Now keep in mind, I'm going to be going more in depth on a lot of these bulletins with evidence and everything. May the 17th was called to the enforcement to sign the new paternity order for second testing, noted in court order that both parties expressed the need for a new test. Side notes, test was not blood to blood. We were ordered to go to DDC, which is the state's ex-contracted lab prior to LabCorp. Red flag. And I even at that time started questioning things. Also noted in order was that the enforcement office, Kentucky Avenue, was to receive the results and not us. We were not allowed to receive the results. I never did receive my results directly out in February 2022 to get them. The only reason I knew was because Mark objected to all above points, was told to sign it or they would close my case, ending my TANF and all my help. Like, I refused to sign it when I seen that they were refusing to allow me. Because, yes, I can sign to release the results to them as well, because that's how LabCorp did. LabCorp sent us our results and then sent it to the enforcement office as well. And that is normally how it goes. Anytime under law that you give a genetic specimen of any type, hair, nail, anything, you have the legal right to receive those results. You do not have to give permission to anybody else to receive those results, no matter who's paying for it. Though you can have a court order stating that you have to have them sent as well to the enforcement, which is what it should say, but that's not what it said. And we'll dive into that in another video again. So from June 30th to July 1st, 2021, received a call from the enforcement stating that he was excluded per DDC, in which there would be no court held. That was in the court order in May 18th. they never sent me the results. See February 2022 incident. We'll get into that. That's where there's a lot of recordings. I am accused of never requesting NetGame mobile diagnostics via email, yet I have the very email in which I did. I also have their response refusing to allow us to. And again, under the law, and a violation of our rights and laws, if we are paying out of pocket, even though there is a order, and it was actually a bypass to do an official order, right? We have the right, paying out of pocket, to choose the laboratory so long as it's state accredited. NetGame Mobile Diagnostics Laboratory Collections, they work with Knox County courts. Really violated my rights by we paid out of pocket, and I mentioned that because I even called my attorney that I'd had for my daughter back a long time ago with a custody case for my ex-husband and said, what the fuck's going on? Can they do this? And he said, absolutely fucking not. You tell them you are picking the lab or they're paying. And I did that. And he wasn't my attorney. You know, I was lucky he gave me that advice for free. And again, they refused. And I've got that in email. And we'll get more into that. This is how many just atrocities that happened in the time. So on July the 2nd, court was apparently held despite in previous court order being mentioned if DDC excluded him as the father, there would be no court. Court costs were taxed to me. I found this out after I received a copy of a filed court order against me with bill demanding payment. Not only is that a violation of my due process by not allowing me to be at the court hearing, but you violated your own fucking court order from May. Literally, that's per an attorney. And we'll continue down the list, and then we'll dive into the evidence, because this is going to get real fun real quick.